Hey guys, this video is kind of like a sequel to my video about the Kony 2012 sequel. Um, I just wanted to talk about, this video is mainly going to the people who still support Jason Russell and Invisible Children. I'm going to say this. Even if Kony 2012 was real, which it isn't, but even if it was real, there are much bigger issues in the United States that you should worry about than helping kids in Africa. Now, I'm not trying to say, U.S. comes first, let's worry about our friends later, whatever. If I saw a friend of mine, like dying or something, I would do everything in my power to help him. But there are things going on in the U.S. that you probably don't know about. And unless we do something quick, our world is fucked. The U.S. is fucked. So let's get on to it. Before I tell you any of the things, you're probably going to get skeptical and say, well, that's not true. You're just lying so I don't contribute or whatever. No, that's not it. If you don't believe me, that's fine. If you don't believe me, all I ask is that you look it up. There's too much evidence to prove my statements are true. So, anyways, now before I start, I just want to mention about Kony 2012. In my other videos, I was asking how, those Africans could possibly speak English, if they couldn't go to school. Our teachers never taught us in our history classes that, that Uganda or, Africa or whatever was under British rule, so that's how they learned it. I still believe, though, something should still, kind of teach them how to do it, Now, in the Kony 2012 sequel, it's supposed to go to people's, heads, not to their hearts. So, they're using different tactics, and while they were interviewing these African people, maybe two or three of them spoke African, and maybe I missed it in the first video, but I don't remember hearing any of them speak, their native language, on the first video. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember, but yeah. So anyways, let's get to it. Here's things you should worry about more in the U.S. than in Africa. Did you know the government is they're building concentration camps around the world, or around the U.S., I should say. And we don't really have any 50 states anymore. They're 10 different sectors, each controlled by someone. So, we're going to be having another Holocaust, people. All they need to do is put in the gas chambers and the crematoriums, and we're all set. Now, as a Christian, and if you don't believe in God, that's fine. I'm not going to hate you for that. I can see why you wouldn't. But I'm not afraid of death. I know there's life after death, and the life after death is very peaceful. So I'm not worried at all about death, because I know they can kill your body. Human beings can kill your body, but no human being, not one, can kill your soul. And that's something I know. So anyways, yeah, they're building these concentration camps around the world. Now, the U.S. is turning into a police state. The cops are getting more brutal. The military already has HARP, which, if you don't know what that is, that's like where they can pretty much control the weather anywhere. So, also, did you know the military? I have a couple things to mention about the military besides HARP. On December 31st, 2011, in case you weren't aware, Obama signed the NDAA bill, which I believe stands for National Defense Authorization Act, where the military can literally detain you, arrest you, and shoot you without a fair trial. They can just throw you in prison or shoot you or whatever for no reason. You might say, Nick, this is ridiculous. What drugs are you on? I'm not on any drugs. I seriously, if you don't believe me, I'm going to make you a challenge. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Look it up. I don't care if you have to try Google or Bing or whatever. Look it up. Look up the National Defense Authorization Act. Now even if you don't care, even if you don't give a crap about those other things, and I'll get to this issue in a second, but one thing I forgot to mention is that the military's actually developed a railgun, an actual railgun, so you never know if they're going to use it against us. So, this be warned. But anyways, here's one that even if you didn't care about the other things before, this one might hurt. It might feel like, it might feel like getting an eternal shot in your arm or whatever. And you're going to love this one. ACTA. ACTA, the Anti-Counterfeit Trading Act. Many countries have already signed the bill for it. They just wait for it to pass. It's pretty much the twin brother of SOPA. God, I don't even remember what that means. Stop Online Piracy Act. That's it. Yeah, where they could pretty much block any website or whatever, just like communist China. I mean, their internet's censored, and the U.S. is going to become like that too. So you're probably like, well, what does that mean? How's it going to affect me? They're going to block many sites, including YouTube. Now, why is YouTube such a big deal? Because that's where the Kony 2012 videos were uploaded. That's where they're all uploaded. So, that means nobody's going to get to know about Joseph Kony, even if this crap was happening. And it's gonna hurt, and they're gonna close other sites down like Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, LinkedIn, you name it. They're gonna get rid of it. And here's one that I heard from Alex Jones the other day, and this is gonna like make your heart skip a beat or whatever. It's gonna make your heart like throb uncontrollably, and I hope I don't give anyone a heart attack when I say this. Seriously. But they're trying to make it so not only are they can't they can't really, there's too many people who own guns to the point where they can't ban the right to bear arms, but they are gonna make it so you can't get ammo for your gun. Also, so by the way, stack up all the ammo you have. But that's not what I was gonna get to. This is what I was gonna talk about. I heard Alex Jones talking about the other day how they were talking about like making it so you have to make sure like all your taxes and bills are paid, otherwise they can make it so like these chips in your cars could have them shut down, or your cell phone could be shut down. You can't drive your car, you can't go to work, like you'll be fired or whatever if you don't pay all your taxes. So it's a pretty scary thing, but I know how hard it is to believe something like that. You might be like, that would never happen, not even in a million years. Look it up. There's hardcore proof that it's happening, that it's going to happen, unless we do something right now. Our goal is to make the government famous. Yeah, make the government famous. Expose them for the assholes, they really are. By the way, if you think Joseph Kony's bad, at least Joseph Kony doesn't give food to kids who are, he doesn't douse foods in ammonia and give them to the other kids. By the way, I got a comment, earlier. Let me look for it. It's about how this guy was telling me how Joseph Kony pretty much turned his life around. Okay, I don't even know if this page is gonna load, but I'll see. Let's go to YouTube, and sorry, my computer's pretty damn slow, so I don't know what the hell's the problem with it, but anyways, he was doing something to stabilize, create jobs and stuff in Africa. And the guy was telling him, he was saying you could never, Michelle Obama would never even try something like that. And I'm going to say this right now. If Obama is voted for one more time, our country is going to hell in a handbasket, quite literally. So, before we could even put our minds to Joseph Kony and this whole bull crap, we need to act fast before the government, takes over. And here's how we're going to do that. You could email your congressman, tell him we don't want it. But most importantly, you can vote for Ron Paul. This guy is going to fix every fucking flaw in our country. He's going to make it better. He's not supported by the media or anybody. Because he doesn't look cool or whatever. It's like the media wants you to get, to have your life fucked over. You might say, now I'm running out of time here, so I gotta be quick. You might say, well, why the hell would we go to Africa? Why else would we go to Africa? Because they have oil and resources that the U.S. wants to steal. And again, there's proof on all these subjects, so look it up. Anyways, Kony 2012 is just a bunch of pro-war propaganda, and they only made the sequel because there were so many people converting over to the true side, people finding out that Kony 2012 was a scam. Anyways, I gotta go. I'm running out of time, and because my phone's running out of disk space. So thanks for watching, guys. Maybe a part 3 will be up, but I don't know. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.